But I remember getting my first arm tattoo, and it was this one right here, my little demon lady. And I remember rocking up to NXT absolutely terrified because I didn't get it approved at all. Hunter walked up to me as we were going through the cage match, and he goes, "Is that new?" And I go, "Yeah, I got it a couple days ago." And he goes, "Oh, it looks awesome." WWE Break It Down is presented by Wingstop. Nothing hits harder than Wingstop. 12 bold flavors, wings, sauce, and tossed fresh, and fries that don't quit. When I'm craving that knockout bite, there's only one choice. Wingstop is here. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is my WWE tryout in Melbourne, Australia. I am currently wrestling Kellyanne. Man, I look like a baby. I got my bra sticking out of my top. That's how bad my gear was at the time. I bought those Asami kick pads in Japan, and I bought them shooters in Japan too when I went there at 17 years old for 3 months to live in a dojo and train and do shows. I don't think I was really going for a specific look. I think I just wanted to show them what I could do and then hopefully have them mold me into something that they wanted. That's why I have no tattoos here, because I was scared that if I had tattoos, I wouldn't be hired. The funny thing about the tryout was William Regal literally said to all of us, "Don't expect to hear back from us. We're very busy. We've got a lot of people on our minds. We've got a lot of tryouts. We have a lot of shows coming up. We're traveling a lot. It could take months, it could take years." I heard back in 4 days, and then I had to start packing up my life and getting ready for this moment here, the first Mae Young Classic. And as you can tell, I didn't get any new gear. I was just like, well, they like this, so this is what they're getting. It obviously worked, it got me the job. I don't even have like much makeup on. I remember doing the makeup and sitting in the makeup chair and I'm like, as natural as you can, pretty much like I'm not wearing anything at all because I hate makeup. As you can see, these days, not as natural as you can. These days, as black as you can, as dark as you can, make me as pale as you can. The next evolution is right after the second Mae Young Classic, and it is in NXT UK when I became the inaugural NXT UK Women's Champion. I finally cut my hair. I was doing things that I wanted to do, and I wasn't feeling good about myself and my job and everything. I had gone through a lot within the first Mae Young and the second Mae Young, and it got to a point where I was like, you gotta do it for you. You gotta be you. You gotta be comfortable and confident in your own skin, and it's time to show everyone exactly what the hell you have. Change my gear. I remember them saying in NXT, you can't get tattoos unless they're hidden. So me being the cheeky little that I am, I was like, all right, well, in this new outfit that I'm gonna be making and debuting on the second Mae Young, I'm going to be wearing pants. And then I got called over to NXT UK because the second Mae Young Classic, I managed to somehow impress everyone. Tegan Nox obviously got injured, had to have a match with Io. We had it was like 20 minutes to plan a 15-minute match, didn't speak any English. It was absolute chaos, and we went out there and killed it. And I think after that, Hunter was just like, okay, well, I see big things for her. She's impressed me now. And that was like such limited timing to get ready, and she didn't crack under pressure. So that's when I headed to NXT UK. I understand why people said I look like Pete Dunne. Just look at that face. We had the same face at the time and pretty much the same hair. I was going through some stuff, you know? I was going through some stuff. Pete could pull it off, I could not. This is from the second Mae Young Classic, the Io Sky match that I was talking about, Io Shirai. I was just being me, letting my anger out. And unfortunately for Io, it was all directed towards her. And that's why I stepped on her like a little bug. This right here is obviously after I came into NXT and I was a little bit slimmer, a little bit more shredded, went to the gym more often. Cut a little bit more of my hair because why not? I started shaving the sides because I was braiding the sides for the longest time and it started literally ripping my hair out to the point that I was balding. So I shaved a little bit and it gradually grew and grew and grew and I ended up shaving both sides completely and then the back as well. But this is one of my first matches in NXT. You can tell I'm a whole different animal. Oh God, and then it just gets better and better. NXT. I finally beat Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship and I had my own little mosh pit, my own little celebration in the ring with everyone. Candice was there to hold my hand. Wild, absolutely wild. The NXT crowd is one of the best crowds. They honestly skyrocketed my career. Like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. If it wasn't for them believing in me and getting behind me from all the coconut loops, all the NXT road shows, then I definitely wouldn't have been given the opportunities that I then got. Wow, I look like a peacock. This is not a good shot. I was so nervous this day. This is Wrestlemania, my first ever WrestleMania. WrestleMania 36 against Charlotte Flair. I was the NXT Women's Champion and Charlotte had won the Royal Rumble and she challenged me, which was a massive accomplishment. It's the first time an NXT Championship had been shown on WrestleMania. It was my first ever WrestleMania. There was supposed to be people. There was supposed to be my family, but then obviously COVID happened and I went to the Performance Center. So I think the decision behind the white gear was I just wanted it to be something special for WrestleMania. I wanted it to be something different. I didn't want people to be like, oh, her gear looks the same. Like, they couldn't pick out what my WrestleMania gear was. I just wanted something different and special and sentimental for my first ever WrestleMania. So I chose Vegeta, someone who I idolized growing up. I thought he was awesome. I absolutely loved Vegeta. He was my favorite Dragon Ball Z character, and the way that he has so many walls up, but he's also so loving deep down, that's just who I am, and that's how I portrayed myself as well. So yeah, I went with the white to be different. My first WrestleMania with people in attendance. Look at that. I felt so scared this day. Like, absolutely so terrified. The bands that I love, they all have cool jackets, right? Like, they all have epic looking jackets. I used to wear a denim jacket back in Riot City Wrestling in Australia, and then when I came to NXT, Ruby Riot at the time was always wearing denim jackets. So I was like, okay, well, I can't wear my denim jacket because I don't want to steal Ruby's stuff, you know, like, that's her gimmick. So I was like, I want to wear leather. So I started wearing leather, but I was like, oh, the sleeves are just, it's too hot. It's too hard to get it off. My shoulders are too broad. So that's when I started cutting the sleeves off and I started wearing it as a vest. And I found a lot of joy and happiness in putting studs on them and making them look the way that I wanted them to look. Like, I'd cut my shirts up, I put them on the back, safety pin it on because I didn't have a sewing machine, so I didn't want to sit there hand sewing it the whole time. So I just make it look as grungy and as cool as I possibly can to kind of like replicate like Black Veil Brides and Motionless in White, their sort of style, just because that's what I grew up always loving. So when I first started getting my gauges, I was either grade 7, grade 8, I want to say. And I got them because my friend Saraya, my best friend, her dad had gauges and I thought he was really cool. I liked the way they looked. So me and Saraya, we both got gauges as well. I remember buying this spiral stretcher in Australia and it was a 2 mil. I hadn't stretched my ears yet. I remember sitting in the corner at the shops as Mum kept shopping. I licked this stretcher and I'm sitting in the corner trying to shove it through my pierced ears, which is a normal hole size. I'm trying to stretch it straight to a 2 mil. And I remember this lady walking past me and she had these big gauges and she just goes, hurts, doesn't it? But that was like the start of the end for me. I kept going. Every time I'd wrestle, they'd get pulled out, which would like rip it a little bit more. I'm like, oh, I think it can size up now because it's a little bit ripped. So I'd go the next size up. It's pre-stretched it for me. I didn't have to stretch it myself. The match stretched it. The absolute mega turning point for me in my career is when Edge came to me with an idea and we managed to get it all confirmed and then played out. This is when I first started and joined the Judgment Day, the OG Judgment Day. Me, Edge, and Damian Priest, my bestie, my Terror twin. Obviously, my gear didn't get finished in time because that's just the story of my life. So I was freaking the hell out. I didn't know what to do. I just knew that I needed matching purple in some way, shape, or form. So I went onto Amazon and I bought a bodysuit. And that's why I am wearing long sleeves for the first and only time in my career, because this is literally a bodysuit from Amazon that I was just throwing together, and then these bottoms Surratt literally made on the day because I had nothing to wear. So I've always loved tattoos. Always. Like, since I was a little kid, I was always planning my tattoos. Yeah, I mean, I started getting leg sleeves because obviously I was wearing pants, and at the time you had to get everything confirmed, and that just took forever. So I was like, okay. Then when this day happened, when I didn't have gear, that's when I first debuted the shorts, because like it was just, I'm sorry, like that's just what has to happen. Surratt can't make pants in a day, in a few hours. So that's when the legs finally came out. But I remember getting my first arm tattoo, and it was this one right here, my little demon lady. And it was a couple days before my cage match with Mercedes Martinez in NXT. And I remember rocking up to NXT absolutely terrified because I didn't get it approved at all. And I remember Hunter walked up to me as we were going through the cage match, and he goes, "Is that new?" And I go, "Yeah, I got it a couple days ago." And he goes, "Oh, it looks awesome. That's sick." And like walks away. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? My boss just said that my tattoo was sick, and he didn't yell at me for it. He didn't tell me off. So it was at that point where I knew that like I couldn't really do any wrong. So I just kept getting tattoos, and he just kept telling me that they looked really cool. So I kind of just kept getting away with it. I don't know how. Wrestlemania 39. I beat Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I finally had the crowd that I had always wanted. I had my family in attendance. I was wrestling Charlotte, one of my dream matches at WrestleMania, for a title, and this time I ended up coming out victorious. And that's where this photo is from. And this was one of the best days of my life. This match was just so insane, and to hear people still talking about this match makes me so proud. Like, it really does, because we went out there and we just absolutely battered each other. Like, we didn't hold back at all. So I did this makeup for my husband. He's done this drip makeup on one of his shows. So I wanted to do that. And the, what do you call it? Like the rags, the cloak kind of thing that I'm wearing under my jacket, that's also his. I stole that from him. I was like, I want to just be you at WrestleMania 39 because it's going to make me feel comfortable and confident, and I feel like I have a part of you with me. So yeah, I put them in there as a little I love you to him.
In 2024, you both main evented a PLE in your home country and received a live music entrance at WrestleMania.
I literally never thought that I would get those two opportunities, especially it being Motionless in White at WrestleMania 40. Like, they're my all-time favorite band. Having them there was insane. And then being able to main event in Australia was just a dream come true. It really was. I never could have ever imagined this being my life. I don't know what I've done to deserve this. I don't know what I've done to earn any of this, but like, going back to Australia the first time in a long time, I hadn't wrestled in front of an Australian crowd for 7 years. To leave as a RCW Women's Champion, but then come back as a WWE Women's World Champion for a PLE in Perth, Australia, Elimination Chamber, and being able to main event a show where normally Elimination Chamber events, but for it to be a singles match, little Adelaide girl, back home, living her dream, family in the front row. It was wild. It was really, really wild. And like, you can see them all, like, my entire family is so happy for me. Like, that's my sister, It's my cousin, it's my uncle, my mom, my dad, my cousin, my uncle. It's insane. And like, I can't wait to go back. I really can't. I'm so excited. So the mask of all masks, my little demon mask. It started off as a clear mask, then went to a black mask, and then became a demon mask. This is because I broke my face. There's not much more I can really say. I broke my face. I had a little brawl with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv gave me a code breaker, but she gave it to me, and the way that she turned, my face went straight into her knee. And I remember it hitting my eye, and I instantly, I couldn't like open it, and it was like fluttering, and it kind of hurt a bit, but like my pain tolerance was really high. But I just knew that I couldn't see and I couldn't open it, and it was watering, and I had to finish the spot. So I had to, with one eye, I was doing the rest of the fighting, and then they went out of the ring. And then I remember I went over to the ropes, and I was so lost that I just bit the rope, and I was like, at least I know where I am. And I just remember biting the rope and holding on, and then doing a creepy smile. And then I came back stage, and I was like, I think my eye's gonna fall out of my face. Just doesn't feel like it's stable right now. So that's where this mask kind of came from. I knew it was the last day that I had to wear the mask for a little bit. I could take it off. So I wanted to look as cool as possible. It was War Games. Like, you always want to look cool for War Games. You're going to war. So Jason Baker made me look like a little demon, and I absolutely loved it. Wrestlemania 41, one of my favorite matches. Me versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the Women's World Championship. And I was the Batman that laughs, so AKA the Joker Batman. That's where the red lipstick came in. Looked kind of crazy. I was scared to look in the mirror. I looked in the mirror and I scared myself, but I love it. This was like such a look, you know, like I try to do the wet hair look, but this is probably one of my favorite looks that I've done, one of my favorite gears, and definitely one of my favorite matches. SummerSlam. It's also one of my favorite gears. I literally messaged my gear lady, Wicked Lester, and I was like, I have no idea what I want to do for gear. Can you guys please just put something together for me? Like, I've got no inspiration. I've got nothing I want to dress as. I was so lost, and they pulled out this gear, and it was the best gear ever. And like, Wicked Lester pretty much replicated the gear that I wore at SummerSlam the year prior, where Dom turned on me. I pretty much paid homage to that while making it better. Like, I haven't forgotten, but this is the new me. It's so weird looking back at the evolution, like, to see how unconfident I was, to now see the absolute animal I've become. Obviously, I started with very natural makeup. I didn't like having too heavy makeup because I thought I looked really stupid. And then once I did it and I found someone that did it well on my face, I kind of didn't look back. Then I found Jet. Jet does my makeup really nicely. She's kind of helped me make Rhea into Rhea. When Rhea Ripley takes over my body, it's very hard to find Demi in all of that. Rhea's a whole different animal. People have talked about it before, like Zelina Vega's mentioned it a couple times. Like, I have a look in my eye, which is like, I'm gonna kill you. We're doing this, I'm fighting. Like, I have no remorse. I am fully immersed in Rhea Ripley, where I didn't have that look in my eye when you go back to the first Mae Young Classic and my tryout. I was just trying to do my job. So it's wild to see how far I've come, and I'm very proud of how far I've come.